So what we're going to do is basically talk about something called a variable. Now, what we're saying is a variable is essentially it's a name that we give to something that can have a range of values. So height, temperature, hair color. So the value of the variable can change or vary. All right. And in an equation, all right, we can either express it as a letter, which is common, or even a symbol. All right. And why is it important? Because most of our variables are going to be, and I think I've said this before, are going to be about cause and effect. You know, you study hard, you get good grades, you work, you earn money. It's warm out, so people buy ice cream. All right. So we also have to understand that things are going to be on a graph, and it's important for us to understand the terminology. So essentially, if we draw a graph, what we're going to realize is that, and I explained this before, this is the y-axis, and this is the x-axis. And remember, it's sort of like, if you think about directions, this is like the northeast part of a grid, so to speak. So if we have a line that goes all the way, that hits the y-axis, we're going to call that the y-intercept. Okay. If it hits the x-axis, we're going to call that the x-intercept. If we have a line that goes through this, we're going to call this intersection. So they sound the same, but there's not. So intersection is essentially where two lines in that white space meet. Intercept is where our line is going to hit an axis. Okay? So, and as you know before, essentially, my dog loves math so much that my dog is barking and is excited about math. And every time I talk about math, it gets super excited. So, and as you remember earlier, a line is made up of points. So we have the run here, because you're going to run. And then you're going to rise, like the sun rises and the sun sets. So essentially, guys, right, an intercept is where the line crosses the x or y axis. And just to reinforce this about the word intercept, all right, the intercept is essentially, as we're going to talk about this, the intercept is the x-intercept is the value of x. So what is x when y is equal to 0? And then the y-intercept is the value of y when what is equal to 0? When x is equal to 0. And where they meet is called the intersection. The intersection, sorry, talking about football. And remember, the slope is an idea about how steep something is. It's about a gradient. Like for every this, there's this, right? For every run, there's a rise. And we've already talked about calculating the formula for the slope. So in our next video, we are going to talk about what does it really mean by an equation of a straight line? So we're going to dispel some of the difficulty about that. Thank you.